Hello, welcome. This is Greg Walker, the
Hello.
person who runs Symphonic and organizes FarFest, and he also is responsible for a huge step in Änglagård's career back in the 90s, but he looks very young, doesn't he?
I was young then.
Yeah. So how did you discover Änglagård?
Well, it's really funny. They knew about my label, and I think they knew that I had released the Cathedral CD, and they were big fans of the Cathedral CD. So when they found out, and they knew my address was on there, so I think they wrote me a letter, and with that letter they sent me a cassette, and this was prior to the Iris release. So I got the cassette, and I was like maybe halfway through the cassette, and I was on the phone. They left their phone number, and I was on the phone to Sweden calling Änglagård. So I got a hold of Lindman, and I said, "Hey, you guys," I was just then we were starting to organize the first FarFest in '93. And I said, "Hey, are you guys interested in playing the FarFest?" And they said, "Absolutely." And that's basically how it happened. And they came over to play.
Thank you very much. I think that's the band wouldn't be there or even here at NEARfest without that.
Well, I don't know about that.
But NEARfest is coming to an end, but there is hope for
sadly.
all fans of progressive music, which can be called FarFest. And can you tell us about it? And especially, why should people who like progressive music go there this
basically,
October?
Our whole idea of this is that we kind of feel like the 70s bands are probably within their last decade of performing live, as a band. So we kind of felt like, now's the time to organize a festival that's based around the 70s, that is based around bands that most progressive fans have never ever been able to see. And the whole thing about it is that we want to document it, and it's all going to be recorded in high definition video and audio, and that way these bands are some are reuniting just for the festival. So we want to document the whole thing. It's really not just for our generation, but for future generations. And it's got all these 70s classic bands together, and basically, it's going to be one big party of 70s prog bands, and it's definitely going to have 70s production with all analog keyboards and a 70s mindset.
Very cool. I'll have a link in the description bar to all the info about FarFest at farfest.com. A last question. NEARfest is coming to an end, as I just said, and Änglagård are going on a break after the concerts this summer. Who do you think will be back first, Änglagård or NEARfest?
Let me flip a coin. Let me guess. I think, they're pretty certain about the FarFest ending, so... But I give them 10 years, they'll do a FarFest, or it's a NEARfest reunion, sorry. So I'd have to say NEARfest.
We'll see what happens. Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome.